All right, guys. Apologize. It looks like the sound was not on. Thanks for those joining me live and to those that be joining me on Archive. D-Style here. Make sure that like button does turn blue if you are listening right now on Archive. Press that like button. Usually, this series is reserved for the most part, boxing talk. Although it's not exclusive to boxing talk, right? Or just YouTube shit and stuff like that. But in this particular case, man, I am. I can't help but do this video because I mean, man, are we in a bind right now? It is like things could only get worse at this point. Things could only get worse. They're not going to get better. I can tell you that right now. Things could only get worse. For those that don't know, unless you're living under a rock, the Trump administration using a drone killed a general of Iran, right? They cited, well, this guy, was killing Americans and eating terrorists or whatever mumble jumble they gave people, right? Am I here to say, right, that the general was a saint and stuff like that? No. But you know what's funny is that when Saudi Arabia killed an American journalist, we wouldn't have an issue palling around with Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? But here's the reality. Regardless of what I think, what you think, there's been retaliation. We have troops not too far. It's not like they got to come way over here. They're not too far in Iraq, Afghanistan. So they have places where they can attack U.S. troops. They attacked some air base or something, but it's an official attack. So let me tell you what's going to happen. All right? A bunch of people are going to talk about how patriotic they are, right? And now they're going to make this about, American patriotism because this happens every time. It's a never-ending cycle. If anybody wonders, D-Style, why didn't you talk about this? It was a big story. Look at everything that's going on. Well, one, this is a 90+% boxing channel, and I have said that, and it will remain that, right? But most importantly, it's exhausting talking politics with people. It's exhausting, especially this day and age, because everyone already has their minds made up, right? And they're not thinking logically when it comes to politics. And I'm talking about both the right and the left. No one listens to reason. And it gets tiring wasting my breath. It gets tiring, just talking about it. It's exhausting. And it hurts more because this is real life. This is not a sport. When it tried to, too many people play stupid when it comes to politics. They play stupid. And it's frustrating. That's why I don't talk about politics that much anymore. Everyone has their minds made up already. What's going on, Big Dog Willie? People just can't. There's people normalizing the behavior of this man in office. The dude is an obvious demagogue. It is obvious. But you have people that just, it's amazing. They live in another world. Unbelievable. If you believe, the horse shit coming out of this administration, as to why we have this conflict with Iran right now, then you're far gone. You know what I mean? That's just the way it is. You're not. You just have your pom poms out for a team. That's it. That's all it is. If we look at a much more macro scale of this, if we look at it at a much more like macro scale, we have no business over there. And the business that we do have there, they don't tell you the truth. If the United States retaliates, and we know more than likely there's a 99% chance that there's going to be a retaliation, right? If there is a retaliation, then I am telling you right now, they're going to retaliate. And then that's how it's going to escalate. We're officially at war, right? Now, not in the, I know what some smartass might say, well, Congress hasn't voted for war. That's the only way it's war. Like I mean, in a traditional sense, okay, as far as what war's been since war was invented, we're at war right now. The God of war is having no mercy. Okay? I know I don't really believe in the God of war, right? But we are at war, ladies and gentlemen. Like officially. And I don't care what you hear in the news about we don't want war with Iran. We're already at war with Iran. You fire missiles at a base, that's war. You kill a general, that's war. That's an act of war. We're already at war. Now, there is a reason why a president should have authorization to declare war on another nation, to be able to do things like this. Because when you have someone unhinged, they're just going to do something off the cuff. Look at the mess we're in right now. This is a mess. This is different in the Syrian situation because in Syria, they weren't retaliating. They were denying that they did what they did. That supposedly Assad killed those kids. Remember that? Remember the media? That's the only time the media and Trump were holding hands singing Kumbaya. Okay? I mean, the glee in Trump's face when the mainstream media was on his side against Assad, and they were reporting that Assad killed those kids. Whether he did or he didn't, I don't know. But they showed us no proof. How do we know? They told us they can't show us the proof for quote unquote national security reasons. Okay. If you believe that, then whatever. Okay. But here is the reality. Even if Assad killed kids, Saudi Arabia killed kids. Why are we bombing them? A lot of nations kill kids. Oh no, Batista, it's because they gas the kids. Okay, look, whether you kill them with gas, okay, or biological weapons, whatever the case is, okay, or whether you kill them, okay, with shrapnel, whatever the case is, killing is killing, bro. Right? Whether you shoot them down, killing is killing. Kim Jong-un has done a lot of terrible things, and this dude was palling around with this guy. Okay? But we all know that the Iran thing really strikes with his base. All right? He wanted to show how tough he is, right? By killing his general to show everyone that, look, I'm not weak like Obama. I'll kill, the general of Iran. And then that was the plan all along because you had a stupid Republican congressman tweeting out a picture of Obama holding hands with the leader of Iran saying we're better off without these leaders. Are you kidding me? Right? I'm far from an Obama supporter, but that is absolutely ridiculous. And SS85 says, what's going on, man? Now, we're so desensitized to war and what war is that people are just acting like we're not at war. Like, we are at war, ladies and gentlemen. Like, this is the beginning of a war. All right? Oh, but look at us, man. We got the best military, baby. Let me tell you something, bro. All right. Taking over Iran is far, 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 far a more dangerous task than Iraq was. Okay? Period. And not only that, yes, eventually the United States would win because they have a more powerful military. But that's not even that's not 1/10 of the whole situation, right? That's not even 1% of your biggest problems. Like, if you don't know by now, okay, what happens after overthrow, I'm sorry, leaders, and then put our own, or whatever the case might be, like we already did with Iran decades ago, then I don't know what to tell you. What's up, Bruce? Bruce so what? Says Trump is a dumbass. They have officially, like, this is war. Like, people are like, oh, no, war is when you vote on it and you say you declare war on paper. No, war is killing a general. War is a retaliation with missiles, okay, to an airbase. That's war. This is an act of war right here. And it's going to be interesting, by the way. We want to continue this. Is Congress going to stand up, by the way? Stand up and say, hey, you're not going to retaliate. We're going to do a vote like that's supposed to be. And they take the shit to the courts. We're going to see how the Democrats act. Are they going to have a real reaction to this and make an argument based on the Constitution? Or are they going to try to be political with it? And we're going to see. Because there is a difference. Because the reason I don't trust the Democrats to do what they're supposed to do, all right, is because these same Democrats, okay, that are like, we're sold a story that the Democrats and the Republicans are beefing, or you know what I mean, and they're so against each other, and they are on certain issues. But when it comes to the military, they're really not that far off, okay? The Democrats voted for and authorized the military budget for Donald Trump. All right? Like Cory Booker, okay? I'm watching you. While they're on camera on CNN and on the floor of the House, talking about how unhinged Trump is and how terrible Trump is, and things I agree with. But at the same time, they're authorizing a bigger military budget for the guy. Okay, like who does that? How do you authorize a bigger military budget for someone you say is unhinged and that you don't trust as a commander-in-chief? Doesn't even make sense. When even Rand Paul is like, I don't get it. I voted against it. What are we doing? This was a stupid move. And we have a president that honestly does not understand that there are consequences for actions. Now, he's not going to pay the consequence because his stupid supporters are not going to say, hey, you fucked up, dude, because they don't do that. They don't hold him accountable. But the people that die in war, they're going to pay the price. Okay? Hundreds of thousands will die if this conflict continues. If not millions. And if you think the area is destabilized now, it's going to get 10 times worse. 10 times worse. And we are dealing, okay, with a country that has this monolithic religion, right? And I am telling you right now, invading that shit is going to be extremely difficult. It's going to be very expensive, right? This is going to cost more than it would cost to put every kid in this country, okay, in college for free, right? I want people to understand that. But they got money for this, all right? Now, if you don't think there's warhawks in a Pentagon that have been waiting for this day, you are crazy. We're already at war. You're going to hear the media talk about all the Democrats are saying that the president needs authorization for war. We're already at war, ladies and gentlemen. And because of the authorization that Congress gave a president, right? Bush, they just got to say, they're funders of terrorists, right? And then they don't need congressional approval. Trump could have troops out there. I forget the number of days, but he could have troops for a certain amount of time without needing congressional approval either. They'll just call it an operation. War? That's not war. It's an operation, right? Or people are stupid enough to think it's not a war if all we do is send drones and planes to drop bombs, okay? We're not at war, stupid. Okay, there's no boots on the ground, so it's not a war. Like, shut up. I'm telling you right now. We are at war. And it's going to be interesting how this truly kicks off, how it really goes through. I don't know, GB boxing. I believe so. Totally. During the impeachment trial, more military budget and the Patriot Act extended, by the way. I mean, and granted, we still have the Patriot Act and NSA under Obama too. So but it was extended under Trump. Nothing fucking changed. Okay, and people are like, oh, because we just need a non-politician who ain't gonna be doing this, doing that. You know how many people voted for Donald Trump because he said, like, just him saying this. What the fuck are we doing over there? He didn't say that. Why are we over there? Why are we here, like fixing our roads and doing this and doing that? Well, why are we on these endless wars? You know how that appealed to people? Because, yes, someone can say, yeah, Trump doesn't talk like a president. He talks like a bit of an idiot. Yeah, he has a foul mouth and stuff like that. Okay, I don't like a lot of things he says and does, and maybe, and all that. But at least he doesn't want to have, like, it's not worse than war crimes, right? And all these people calling Obama a war criminal and Hillary a war criminal, and that's why they're voting for Trump. Where the hell are these people now? Where are you guys? Cannot invade Iran without consequence. And no, you can't. Guys, I am telling you right now, look, first of all, if we kill the leaders of Iran, bro, we're going to create a big fucking mess over there. And yes, it's going to come back to haunt us and bite us in the ass, right? It is. It always does. It's a never-ending process. It's a never-ending process. And you think anyone, like, you think any country now is going to believe the United States for anything? If I ran North Korea, let me tell you something. I'll just be like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I agree. I agree to your terms. And I'll be working on a fucking nuke, right, behind the scenes, without a shadow of a doubt. Because everyone who gives up their weapons of mass destruction to the United States and is promised that we'll never invade them, it always turns around to bite them in the ass. Every fucking time. All right? They give up their weapons and we still go out there and invade them. Right? They did it to Saddam. Get rid of your weapons. Okay, I did. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. But I did. Nah, we're going to invade you anyway. I mean, this is crazy, dude. Gaddafi gave up his... If Gaddafi never gave up his arsenal, he'd still be in power. And that's the reality. He'd still be around. Oh, but he was a dictator. God damn, bro. What do these fucking princes in Saudi Arabia are? You think they're like democratically elected or what? And you make a good point, Zealots of Israel. The NATO ain't going to help, bro. And then the way Trump's been treating NATO, all right? After like chewing NATO out, and you think they're going to put like help? No. Man, you're on your own, bro. Right? We got involved with you guys, like even though Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11, we got behind it and supported you. And then what happened? Some motherfucker, for political reasons, started, just chewing us out. Fuck you. How about that? All right? This is unbelievable. And then people are still asking, like, hey, you think we can go to war? This is war. What are you talking about? If you were watching a movie, right? Let's say you're watching a movie from medieval times, right? And a powerful army killed a general of another army. And then they retaliated and invaded a village, like a small village, right? You would think to yourself, it's on, right? You're not going to say, man, I wonder if they're going to have a conflict. Man, I wonder if they're going to go at it. What? Anyway, people play the semantics, bro. It's like saying, it's not a fight unless you sign and agree to the fight and have a ref and the commission's there. It's not really a fight. No. Like if two dudes knuckle up in the street and start thumping, okay, landing punches, it's a fucking fight already. Okay, well, what are you talking about? We killed the general. They retaliated. What do you think is going to happen? And we already know how Trump thinks. They attack me. We attack them stronger. Right? You know what I mean? And what do you think they're going to do in return? What do you think they're going to do in return? What do you think they're going to do? We're already at war. Like people are like, oh, man, I don't know, man. I don't think we should go to war. We're already at war. The question should be, should we stop this war? Well, it ain't going to happen with this dude in power. I can tell you that right now. It ain't going to happen, bro. We already know where his mind's at. Trump himself accused Obama of trying the same thing back in 2011. He said that Obama was going to try and strike Iran, okay, so because that's the only way he'd get elected. He's already said it himself. What's going on? Say less. Absolutely, bro. If you want to come on, let me know. I'll shoot a link, by the way. Let me know if you want to come on. So, Camaro, at first I thought Trump was going to be bad, but he has made so many bad decisions as a president. I thought he wasn't going to be bad. Well, here's the thing, right? I did, believe it or not, people wouldn't even think this, but believe it or not, I always thought, man, this dude is terrible. Of course, he's annoying, but you know what I did say to myself? I said, you know what? If Trump is serious about the whole, hey, what the fuck are we doing in the Middle East? Let's get out of there, right? That's the one thing that when Hillary would say, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. We need to be there because we're a force in the blah, 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 all that mumbo jumbo, right? That's the one time, even though I didn't believe him, but I said, if he could live up to that, I would be the first one to come out. You know what? Shit. Yeah, the dude's a piece of shit, but let me tell you something. Okay. Yeah, he raw dogged the porn star. Yes, he's a little bit of a creep. He was in a locker room of Team USA contestants, and he did do the grab him by the pussy thing. I don't really like his tax policy, but at the end of the day, he pretty much did what any Republican would do. But at the very least, he got us out of war. Like, if he really took our troops out of there. Now, I always knew that was bullshit because the guy was always talking about, there's a link, bro. I think you got it. It's in the chat. But I would do his bullshit because he was also talking about eliminating ISIS and doing all this other shit. Right? ISIS hasn't gone anywhere, by the way. ISIS has gone nowhere. And people could be like, oh, but this style. He eliminated ISIS. No, he didn't. What's that about? ISIS is still around. ISIS is still around. Say this. I did put the link in the chat. Iran wasn't playing around when they said they were going to get revenge. I knew it was a bad idea, says Morrow. Yes, of course. And why wouldn't they? Iran has wanted revenge on America since the 1950s. Bro, we overthrew, a secular leader. And we put the religious fucking zealots in charge. The United States did that. This shit's insane, dude. We just have no business over there. Okay? None. Now, I was always in the belief that, they always want to put a facade like, hey, we tried diplomacy first. You know what I mean? So I can't prove that Obama was never going to do this, but at the very least, there was some type of agreement that they had so they don't go to war. So this should be a last resort. What's going on? Say less.
You're on, bro. What's good, brother?
What's going on, man? Well, what do you think of the news, bro? They retaliated, and people are asking if we're at war.
Man, that was kind of a very odd thing when people were saying, well, let's see what they do. Maybe nothing will happen. And it really, it really kind of hit home to me. As somebody that was over there in Afghanistan, not Iran, but in Afghanistan, It's kind of laughable to me how people treat this as if it's some type of game. As if, I guess when you're so far removed from it, and you don't think logically or critically, you think that somehow this is good. The death of people, killing people's leader, getting involved in wars about people that you don't even care about people in your own country, much less. But now for some magical reason, you're going to care about people in the other country, whatever excuse that they're going to use about an imminent threat. And if you buy into that, you're an idiot, man. I don't know where to start if you really believe the whole imminent threat thing. I don't even know what to tell you about that.
Let me tell you something, man. Okay. I have more of a concern of a white supremacist showing up to a Walmart, shooting up people, people. You know what I mean? Than I do of Iran.
And that's anybody thinking logically. Now, mind you, Iran is nothing to fuck with. Over there, a lot of the forces, a lot of people we have to fight, they would escape to Iran. They would then have a vacation there. Not really a vacation, but that's where they would go to rest and recuperate. And we get all that. The problem is, even with that logic, we were never supposed to be over there in the first place. That's the point that I feel like people aren't getting. We are not able to change how they operate and how they move. And the only reason that they're fighting us is because we are there. Whatever they have going on, we have enough issues here. We can't solve it. Period. It's really that simple. It's too complicated. It's one of those problems that are too difficult to solve, right? So you might as well just stay out of it. You know what it reminds me of? The whole China thing. When everyone was talking about China and this whole outrage of China, I was telling people, there's literally nothing we can do unless we want to get into a war, which we will not be able to handle. So we might as well just stay out of it. It's a very similar situation, man.
What do you think of, from what you know, anything you could speculate, what would it cost this country, more or less, right? Do you you could be as vague as you want, but Uh, how much do you think it would cost this country? Not just financially, because it would, but just in terms of deaths of troops and stuff like that. If we were to, in any way, shape, or form, attempt to invade Iran,
Okay, it will cost us, to me, way too much because this is pretty much what would happen if we did try to invade. It's not like Afghanistan, maybe closer to Iraq, but better. Militarily, they're a lot more put together, they're a lot more organized. So, in a way, that can make it easier. Minus the fact that they have the complete, well, not, let me not say complete, a large, very large support from the citizens, right? So, that's going to be an issue right there. So, occupying is going to be a beast because you have their military forces that are going to be fighting us, which again is going to be difficult, but in ways kind of easier to fight if it was just that. But then we have to worry about the citizens as well. So
yeah,
we will lose so many soldiers, right? And we'll kill a whole lot of people that just don't want us there because it's going to be very difficult to differentiate between foe, enemy, civilian. Like, it's not a game, man. When you're in a city and people are shooting at you, right? And you have rules of engagement and you don't know who's there. The house is shooting at you, right? And you go there, there's women, there's children in the house. So you can say just fire back, but again, it's not
it's not
the
a video
best I can
game,
say,
right?
it's not only bad guys, it's not only guys dressed in turbans and that's it. It's a lot more complicated than that. And these people, right? Just imagine, all right, I'm gonna try to help people who are confused. Put yourself in their shoes. What if for whatever reason, right? There's some other country that feels the need to come here, right, and occupy us.
You there, bro? I think we lost Sid. Sid, can you hear me? Or can you guys hear me? You there, bro? Can you guys hear me? Or is it just me that got lost? Hey, Bruce, can you could hear me but not Sayless? Reggie, you want to jump on? Big Mike, you can click on that link right there. By the way, and Sayless was cooking. I don't know what happened, but I put the link back on there in case Sayless wants to come back on. Islam is a theocracy, ladies and gentlemen. It makes the religion and state more thoroughly than any other country in the world, bro. By theocracy, like they're an Islamic state, bro. Since 1979. Since that time, bro. I think we got Sayless back on. What's up, Sayless?
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, bro. I don't know when I left, man. But point is, what I was trying to say is that people should really try to put themselves in the shoes of the citizens over there in Iran and understand that it's not gonna be black and white. It's not gonna be easy, and it's simply not worth it.
Yeah, and then I mean, look, man. There's Sunni Muslims, right, in Iran, pretty much.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know how many Sunni Muslims will like make their way over there? Like, if there's American troops over there. like it doesn't have to be a majority, guys. It could just be 1% of them. That's a lot. Like, you know what I mean? like that's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Especially like if they feel it's sometimes they think this is a holy war, bro. Like they're not fucking around, bro. This is a theocracy. If they feel this is a damn holy war, that's what people didn't understand about ISIS. Like, ISIS wanted to get bombed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying they wanted to die, but they wanted the conflict. Right? Mm-hmm. When you have religious zealots that think this is some type of holy war, dude, that is a game, okay, too long of a game that we just have no business engaging in. All right, we just have zero business engaging in this game.
No, and that's absolutely true. It's a game where we just can't win, right? Not to say we can't win. The part I keep going back to is no one could come and occupy our country and tell us how to live and that They're overthrowing our idiot of a leader, Trump, and it's just gonna go over smoothly. Despite how much a lot of us don't even like Trump, we're not gonna let some foreign country come and occupy America. That logic has to be applied to them. You may not agree with their way of life, but they don't agree with ours, or whatever the case, whatever bullshit reason in your mind to make these people's lives less than yours. You know, if 100 American soldiers like die over there, it's a travesty. But if we kill 100,000 of them, it's okay. I'm gonna tell you guys something, a secret, right? Our lives do not matter more than theirs. All right, that's some shit we do here in America. Where when we hear somewhere else where they lose 5, 10,000 people, and it's like, oh, whatever, one American dies, it's a big deal. Yeah,
Right.
like no, they value their lives over there. We might not, but they do.
Like there was a bombing at an embassy, and three of those 10,000 people were American. Like it's just like,
Yeah,
like dude, it's still like I mean those lives, of course, three too many, but hey, the other ones were too many as well. And,
right.
and but I mean, I just think that this is a whole. First of all, we already have like the, the troops are. We still have troops in Iraq. Okay, we still have troops in Afghanistan. What are you doing? Like put troops in Iran? I have a feeling though that they're going to stick to just strikes as far as like dropping bombs, and they're going to try and play semantics with the media. The media is probably going to fall in line with it, and they're going to claim that we're not really at war with Iran because we don't have troops on the ground. What are your thoughts on that? If we don't have troops on the ground, that it's not a war.
Here's what I'm afraid with Iran and giving a country like that motivation because they're so organized. We're not talking about like a small militia or just a terrorist organization, which would be bad enough as is. You're talking about people, right? That this is, I'm just thinking, or I can't even say if I was in their position. This is what I'm assuming they're going to do, right? To me, because the strike back that they did at the base is nothing. That's not going to be their get back. And I hope I'm wrong. They're going to do something big, but they're not going to do it right away. Our guard is up. We're aware. They're going to take their time. They're going to wait for things to die down, and they're going to hit us very, very hard. Why? Because fuck us. That's why. It's really that simple. And what people have to understand, since they're organized, right? And they're smart. This is the thing that like I don't understand why people when they're so quick to, you know, have these feelings, they're intelligent. There's a reason why, despite all our advanced technology, we haven't been able to win yet. Nor Russia, nor really anybody else, right? Unless you want to go back centuries, right? So you have to understand, we may think it's gonna be easy, but with them, since there's a lot more organized and they have a lot more funding, what they could potentially do over here, right? Let's just say hypothetically, they can pay, it just takes one person, pay their family very well to come here, right? Or maybe they're already over here and do something so bad, so atrocious that we may never recover from it and it may become a black stain in American history. So that's possible. That's
Yeah.
very possible. And again, I'm not gonna say that's what I would do, but that's what I would see them do. If you look at it logically, that's the right way to go about it. Bide your time, be patient, and strike. I hope that because to me, what's gonna stop that is not to me. It's not matter if, it's when. It's gonna be up to our FBI, our CIA to actually be able to stop something like that. But to me, it's a foregone conclusion they're gonna try.
Right.
So
They're going to try it. And I think they sense that because they hear about how they're already like detaining like Iranian Americans like at airports and stuff like that. I mean, like
there you go.
so they're already scared of that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like there's going to be maybe there will be some domestic as far as here in the U.S. Retaliation. You know, but I think that they might. But I mean, they're definitely gonna. There's gonna be more conflicts there in the Middle East. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's. I just don't know how this is gonna end. Like, I just don't see how Trump gets out of this one. To be honest with you.
I honestly, I'm not even sure, man. At this point, I don't know if Trump really just doesn't care or if he's doing just everything. Sometimes he's so bad. I feel like he's trying to do everything he can. Remember South Park? where it's like where they have who's playing Trump now? What's that dude name again? They used to be the teacher. But point is, like, it got to the point where he's
Yeah.
trying to get people not to vote for him. He's trying to be hated, but our society is so backwards that it keeps making him more popular as bad as he's. I'm not sure. I don't know if he's just that dumb or if he's trying not to be president, but in some weird way, it keeps making people love him more. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Like he's kind of like, okay, Melania, let me try this. Man, maybe they'll get tired of me doing this, and they just love him more. You
Yeah.
know. No, man. You know what? These Trump supporters are just gone, bro. Like they're gone. They live in a different world, and that's that. You know what I mean? No matter what he does, they will like he could have the same exact policies as Obama tomorrow, and they'll love him. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that that's gonna change them, but unless I
It's
don't
a
know.
cult, bro.
Yeah.
Like his fan. It's. I mean, it's crazy to say, but yeah, he has a cult-like following.
Yeah.
They worship him. It's scary. They worship and believe everything. I don't know how. I'm not sure why, but they like his followers. They worship him. It's gotten to that point.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. But man, I think the president during wartime have increased odds of being reelected since Chicano Prophet. You think it has anything to do with that, the election?
The election. I mean, to me, I'm not sure because we're so much as I mean, it's hard to say, but I feel like we're so much smarter now. We have so much more information that it's so obvious that there's no
Right.
way it should be able to work. Like it's so blatantly obvious, but with the amount of stuff Trump's been getting away with, man, I don't know. It goes back to what I was saying. Either he's like a mad genius, really doesn't want to do the job, or borderline mentally challenged. I can't tell. I
Yeah.
can't tell.
Now, this guy will. I mean, I've reached the point where I don't even try to make arguments. I used to do videos trying to tell people like look at what he said, look at what he's doing, and it's not adding up. But I just realized it was like a waste of breath. I was wasting my breath. It was just a waste of time. But for this, I definitely wanted to talk about this because to me this is a big story, and I think we're so desensitized to hearing about us bombing shit. That we don't react to things the way we used to. And like here, like an American airbase got bombed, guys.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Like I know it's on the news and all that. But the fact that most people are just like shrugging and moving on, like they're shrugging their shoulders, and then they still ask, "Are we going to go to war with Iran?"
Boy.
To me, we're already at war.
Yeah,
We're already at war with them.
it's come to that's where we're at right now in this country. It's literally come to borderline insanity. That's really where we're at, and it's brother. Honestly, I'm lost for like words. I don't really know what to say because I feel like I have to explain things. Like this Friday, I have my tickets booked. I have my hotel, everything set up for me to go to Dubai. I was gonna go to Dubai, live my best life, have a good time. When this happened, I was like, oh, like no way, like that's like a 24-hour drive from Iran. Who knows what they'll do.
Damn.
And the thing is, like, I guess if you haven't been through it, or you're one of those fanatics that love war. I met guys like that in the military who for some reason love war, love violence. Not me, man. Fighting is not cool. Getting shot at is not cool. Having your friends die is not cool at all. There's nothing. But you know what? I'm speaking for myself. For me, there was nothing cool about a pointless war. There was nothing cool about waking up every day or damn near every other day, passing this freaking no-name village and get into a firefight. There's nothing cool about it. It's trash. It's trash, man. Finding out your freaking friends died while you're getting food. Like, it's trash, man. I'm sorry. This is the type of stuff when I look at it, people get so eager to go. I've seen men, what they go through and what it does to them. And to know that it's pointless, to know that we're here fighting these people for some rich fat bastards' wallets. I can't. I don't want nobody to go through that.
Well,
That's
I'll
just
tell you what. Like, you know how like they say MSNBC is like the liberal, like the most liberal, like news organization or whatever, right?
right.
And dude, I'll never forget, man. Like they were showing live footage of a missile being fired into Syria, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And the guy literally goes, "Man, look how beautiful that looks." Like, like they're talking about how beautiful the missile, and he said something about how now that's the power of America or something like that. You know what I mean? But do you not know what that thing does? Like, like it is a little girl anywhere near that thing when it lands. You know what it's gonna do? Like it's unbelievable to me. But it's very telling that the one time that the media and Trump were holding hands, singing "Kumbaya," was when he attacked, Syria. You know what I mean? That's the one time that they stood right behind Trump. Do you think that's going to happen here?
No, this situation a little bit different because
No.
again, now I feel like our country's a lot of things, and even with the not enough but a good amount of Trump supporters, they're not trying to go to war. I feel like as a country we've wised up to a certain degree, and this is exactly how nations like great nations fall. They start spreading themselves too thin. They get involved in conflicts that they shouldn't be in, and this exactly. I mean, again, America's gonna fall, and literally history repeats itself, and it's happening right in front of us, and people are somehow confused. Well, yeah. That's for a whole nother discussion. But I think that we're in a place where I want to believe that it's not going to work, but there's a fear that if they do something so tragic over here, it's going to rile a lot of people up. They're going to want revenge, and again, it's in the history books. We see it. We should know that what would happen if we go about things a certain way. I would hope that we look at history and say, you know what, this isn't the way to go about it. I'm hoping that we can look to history and say, no matter what happens, we shouldn't react a certain way. That's what I'm hoping.
Dude, the other thing I want to kind of touch on is, we keep hearing that we don't have money for anything, right? Like, well, what do you mean? We got to cut Social Security. Sorry, old ladies and all that. We don't got the money. What do you want us to do? We have to be responsible, right? But we got money for this. That shit's insane, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. What did Tupac say, man? We don't got money to feed the poor, but we got money for war.
For wars,
I know I'm messing up, but yeah, man, yeah.
But you know what? I heard somebody say though, right? Like this conservative dude said, he goes, like on my social media, he goes, yeah, but it's not the government's job to provide to people, including the poor, but it is the government's job to protect us from foreign threats. You know what I mean? So that's how they'll justify it.
That is super false, man. The government's job is to look out for the best interests of the country. That involves the people.
What happened to for the people, and all that? Like, what happened to that? By the people,
I guess that doesn't exist, man. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the way that people, I don't know, man. The way we've turned into this the way capitalists have come into this country with blatant and obvious propaganda, and to see it work against people who are not in the position, like there are people right now that are super big on Trump. And again, he's helping people like me. I relate more towards what he's trying to do because some of the stuff that he's done, like for example, real estate down here, hugely benefits me. His tax break benefits people like me, yes, but for a lot of people, he doesn't serve your interest. So I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't understand what your end goal is. He doesn't benefit.
We live in a country where you have individuals who honestly believe that tax is theft. You know what I mean? So it's the same to go, like getting a gun and going to 7-Eleven and asking for them to give you money for the register is the same thing as taxing 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? And so we have people that have been programmed to think that way. You know. So it's to me, it's I mean, the whole tax thing is a whole nother debate. You know what I mean? But my point is, we have people that have just been programmed to believe, certain things. And when it comes to this Iran thing, man, they're following the same freaking blueprint that the Bush administration did. I mean, it's almost identical. And I really hope we don't end up in a full-fledged war, like to where we're invading Iran or something like that. But man,
I don't think it'll get that far. I don't. I mean, I
Oh,
don't.
no.
I hope it doesn't get that far, but it will be bad. It will be bad. Like, only thing to hope for is that, like, we just don't let it get that far. We don't get to the point where actually doing a full scale invasion because of some orange dude, some orange clown that we elected. That, I mean, I don't know who to blame. I don't know where to start, but I'm just hoping that we just sit back and realize that as a country we can be better. We should do better. And we, again, just look at history, man. History tells us everything we need to know, so we should just follow it.
Let me read this right now, bro. I really hope this dude's trolling, bro. I feel like he's trolling, but living a God-filled life says, stop talking nonsense. God has blessed America. Trump is a man of God. Our Christian nation, anyone that is a man against a man against cherish. Troll? Is that a troll?
Yeah, that has to be a troll, man. That's
All right. I don't know how long you want to be on here, bro. I'm going to be on here a little more, but I know Reggie wants on.
Oh yeah, let him on. I'm gonna dip out. I gotta handle some things anyway.
Cool, bro. All right, man. Thanks for coming on, though.
Bro. Yeah, man. No doubt. Appreciate you for having me, man.
Sure.
All right, man.
All right, guys. That's Say Less. You could subscribe to his channel. It is Say Less. Just go ahead and subscribe to there. I sent you the link, Reggie. They want to change the leadership in Iran. Dude, you know what type of a mess we're going to cause? Dude, Iran is a theocracy, bro. All right, like, I want people to understand this. Like you cannot just overthrow something like that. You just can't. Hey, Reggie, you get the link, bro? Reggie said, okay, that. Let me post this. I'll read the Bible a little. Nah, brah. All right. We got Reggie in the house. What's going on, Reggie? You're on smoke signals, brah.
What's up, bro? What's happening?
What's going on, brother? What's going on, bro?
Oh, man, want to get in on here with this topic y'all talking about with this idiotic president we got over here. And him thinking that American can be the bullies of the world. And, he's in such a disillusion about the risk that he puts the rest of the world in and how he can destabilize things. And he also puts his ally, Israel, at great risk of being attacked as well.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely. Like, dude, it's people don't understand. I'm making the argument we're already at war. There's people asking, like, if we're gonna go to war with Iran. We're already at war. When you kill a general and they retaliate, okay, with missiles to an air base, that's war, isn't it?
Absolutely.
That's like me arguing, no, we didn't fight because we didn't sign any contracts and we didn't go to a boxing ring and actually box. So we didn't really fight. What do you mean? You guys were throwing punches at each other. I saw it in the street. Nah, but we didn't really fight. And that's how people are sounding right now. Like, we are at war right now, bro. And I'll tell you what, man, a lot of veterans that I know are not just, aren't happy about this, bro. And I live near a base here, and like they don't like the idea of them possibly having to go to Iran, bro. Okay.
No, hell no, they shouldn't, because it's like conflict after conflict. And it's all throughout the Middle East. And it's just like this country's kind of going through some imperialist type BS that's going on. But now they've come up against a country who's going to go full fledged at them all
Dude,
over.
There's going to be deaths, bro.
Yeah. They haven't even given the casualty count from what happened over there today with the missile attack.
Yeah, dude. Let me tell you, man. it's inevitable the U.S. is going to retaliate in some way. Okay, and I'll tell you I believe the people in Iran are behind this. Like, it's not like the people in Iran don't like. This is not good, dude. You know, like, and I don't even think Iran's going to wait for us to retaliate. To be honest with you, like, I honestly believe they're going to do another, proactive strike if we don't do it first.
Yeah, most definitely. And wars, like I was telling somebody earlier, we were having a debate. I talk with a lot of vets, and about how there's really no purpose to war. But the problem in America is, America has used the war as an industry. It's a way of generating a $1 trillion industry, and they create these conflicts. They go over here, occupy lands, and right behind it, major corporations go in to stealing resources and creating revenue streams that way. But the people who lives are put at risk through this pool of expendable expendable population that goes in fighting these wars is people who come from the most desolate parts of America, the most impoverished parts of American society. They go over there, they receive all the physical damages of war as well as the mental damages of war, and they come back and there's nothing given to these guys, nothing out here to help them after they didn't risk everything, while a bunch of corporations and capitalist type, they benefit off of this stuff. Whether these bombs, anytime they send a bomb up over there, you attach millions of dollars to it, and these contracts is crazy.
So look, man, I knew that we're going to end up in never-ending conflict still, even with Trump in office. The moment I saw the military, budget increased, and seeing that just about maybe just 2 or 3 Democrats in the Senate voted against it. I think it was 5. I forget the number, but a majority of Democrats, many of them running against Trump, calling him unhinged, and we can't trust this guy with a nuclear missile codes and this, that, and there. But they're giving him an increase in military budget. And for those that wonder how does that happen, it's very simple. All right, all you got to do is follow the money. Right? These politicians are a lot of them receive campaign finance money from the contractors, bro. Okay, the weapons contractors, right? So they give them millions, and in return, they vote to give them billions, okay, in military contracts. That's what it comes down to, right? And then how do you keep getting that money flowing in? Well, you have to use them. Like, I'll never forget in one of the Republican debates, Marco Rubio, out of his own mouth, said, if we're going to fight ISIS, we need bombs. And how do you fund the bombs? Well, you got to increase the military budget to pay for the bombs, right? Now, granted, we had enough of a military budget anyway, but I just think when stuff like that slips out of their mouths, right, it makes clear that they need a system that uses the weapon so they can recreate the weapons. Okay, so that's where the military contractors come in. Okay, alongside these politicians, both Democrat and Republican. Right. And that's why they vote for these budgets and increased in budgets and all that. That's why they do it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And at some point, man, this whole complex has to be broken down. And I think the way of going about doing it is getting rid of all these business-minded folks that have kind of injected themselves into our system to where America's no longer a nation. This really ain't a nation. America's a big time corporation, and it has to break away from that based on the type of people we put in power. Lobbyists have too much influence. The wealthy have too much influence in the way this country operates. And when a country operates like this, always been the history, even when you go back into the conquest of Europe, and when Europe became more of a premier society, the capitalists always ran everything. They ran it through creating these industrial war complexes. And ultimately, it ruins the country. Same thing happened with the USSR. The military complex ended up ruining the country. And that's what's going to end up being the ultimate destructor of this country, unless smart people get in these rooms and start figuring this shit out. But Trump is going to have to be removed because he's very dangerous, not only to this country, but to the safety and stability of the rest of the world. But something's ultimately going to happen to this fool, and it has to. He has to be put up out there. He's too roguish. No one can tell this dude anything.
Yeah, man, absolutely, bro. And I am telling you right now that it's going to get worse before it gets better. All right. Trump is going to try and show his followers that he's a big tough guy. Okay, so trust me, that's the dangerous part about this, Reggie. It's not going to end like this. Let me put it this way: if Iran attacked a military base with missiles, the way they just did, even Obama would retaliate. Okay, what do you think a dude like Trump's going to do? Right? And before someone tells me, no, but Obama wasn't like, dude, Obama had a freaking, we were bombing like, I forget the number, but like 6, 7 countries under Obama. All right. Like the dude was Obama. Okay. Now Trump, now Trump obviously escalated that, but the drone strikes in foreign countries and stuff like that, okay, all started under Obama. All right. Like, make no mistake about that. Iran was burning like bodies, that were kind of looked like Obama, like they did all the other presidents. All right. So like he wasn't a friend of Iran, but we live in a country where Republicans have been convinced that Obama was coddling, all right, with Iran and shit like that. That's the type of country that we live in. All right. But to my point, Trump's going to retaliate. And who knows what this motherfucker's going to do, right? Trump has too simple of a mind for me to trust. Like he's going to, yeah, that's it. We're going to hit him with something that's going to scare them. Like, I just know that they're going to do a retaliation, and it's only going to escalate from there. It's only going to escalate, bro.
Right. Don't forget how enthused and celebratory he was about when they used the largest weapon, non-nuclear weapon, and this fool possibly ordering these generals into using that as part of one of the plans. But they're in for a rude awakening, because on top of this dude removing these deals because he wants to do anything to destroy any of the bargainings that Obama had put in play, because he wants to be this tough player against what he assumes as being less than civilized type nations, or nations that have embarrassed America in the past. And we know Iran has embarrassed America in the past.
Well, here's what Trump knows. Trump knows that Iran, it's highly unlikely that can murder him. You know what I mean? But the United States is capable of killing the leadership of Iran. You know what I mean? The drone strikes, a military operation, like they can do it. It's far more possible. And I think Trump, if it doesn't affect him personally, bro, Trump doesn't give a shit, bro. You know what I mean?
But it will ultimately affect them, because I think they have the abilities to get at him. I think any nation has the ability to kill any leader on this planet. And it's just how daring are you, how daring are you, and are you willing to deal with the consequences that come behind that? They can ultimately, anybody can kill Trump, but it's what comes behind that. But what they can
I mean, Trump has like the Secret Service. He's got the military, huh?
They can kill them as well. Any of these guys in this world can be killed. Anybody can be knocked off.
I'll tell you, bro. The only way they'll be able to do it is when Trump's not in this country. You know what I mean? But that's the only way.
But the play that they get to play is where he started this. He put Saudi Arabia at risk. You remember, who was it? Was it Iran or somebody that was attacking the oil fields with drone strikes? They can interrupt that whole shipping system over there, and that will wreck the whole world's economy.
Now, I just want to move past it, just because, I mean, you know how YouTube is. You know what I mean? Like, they'll start claiming that we were looking for the death of 45. But
right.
But like I'm just saying, I don't think Iran is capable of murdering our leader, but we are capable of murdering theirs. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel about that. And I believe that's what he's going to ultimately try and do. Okay, just and then claim victory and stuff like that. And the way a Trump mind thinks, I just feel like he will see that as a victory. You know what I mean? So, but that's not going to be the end of it. But he's going to claim it is, and try and get elected over that, bro. You know what I mean? Like that. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think his reelection, man, is about to be wrecked with this one, man, because nobody wants war. Nobody wants to deal with a warmonger, especially with him doing something like that. Nobody wants to deal with that. We're still dealing with the scars of those coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan,
Dude,
and him trying to lead
Vietnam,
us
bro.
into another one. And Vietnam, all these homeless.
Like Vietnam was like the first time that we really experienced like guerrilla warfare at that level, and people need to understand how that can just not. I mean, guerrilla warfare is not new, but I mean at that scale, like for a nation that was trying to take over another nation. But I'm telling you, bro, taking over Iran is far more difficult than taking over like even Vietnam, bro. And so I don't know if we're ever going to do that. Who knows where it's going to go from here, dude? We might wake up tomorrow morning, bro. We've already retaliated. Who freaking knows?
Yeah, we got the capabilities. It can be quick action, but also I wonder what's going to happen because Iraq has voted to get American troops up out of their country.
Right.
So it's now where do we position ourselves over there?
Well, not only that, let's just check out, right? So, do you think Trump killed the general of Iran? First of all, to show how powerful he is and how much of a strong leader he is, and do you think he did not expect some type of retaliation? Like, you think he was going to scare them and they weren't going to do anything?
Yeah, I absolutely think he believed that, and it was really a way to puff and beat his chest to other leaders of America who he views them as weak. Like he states, this guy should have been killed a long time ago. Well, there's a reason why this guy wasn't touched. So yeah, I think he thought he can do it, and this country will submit to him because even in the press conference once this news broke, the guy just looked so goddamn. He looks like he's under so much pressure, and even they're stating right now, these guys are at the White House trying to figure out how to deal with this situation, whether or not to retaliate. There's a lot of pressure being put on Trump right now because of how idiotic his decision, along with those other warmongers he has within that party that thinks like him. They're in a tight situation right now.
Zealots of Israel says we're living in beautiful times. I don't know about that, bro. Um, what would you suggest we do? Like, what's the best course of action for this country, given what just happened?
Moving forward properly with the impeachment process of this fool.
Like, let's say in a hypothetical world, they remove Trump from office and they give you the decision. What do we do moving forward?
We call Iran to the table and speak with them because even the Ayatollah, even this way has to take into account these warmongers treat Iran like they're just the worst people on the planet, like their enemy. They want to kill Americans. The Ayatollah made that very clear when he spoke. And debunking anything that comes out from American warmongers who want to send people into combat when they know damn well they won't fight in any of these wars, and neither will any of their relatives fight over that. The only reason why they want to put you over there because there's a huge profit in line for them. But Iran made it very clear they have nothing against the American people, and I truly believe that no nation on this damn planet has any thoughts of ever invading America. America has positioned itself to becoming the enemies of many nations. Not saying us, but the capitalists they put in position based over them wanting to occupy countries for resources and other reason behind it. We go to Iraq. We really ain't even in control of Iraq. We got to have a military over there on high alert status and all that stuff while we continually to pillage the hell out of that country for what's in the earth. But But that would be my thing, to sit down with the Iranians and kind of diffuse this.
Yeah, I mean, look, all the bad things that the Pentagon and the news media and any president basically that we've ever had, all the bad things they say about Iran, right? You could apply the same shit to Saudi Arabia, bro. Okay, almost side by side. Oh, but they're a theocracy, and they don't, you know, they have horrible human rights violations, and I mean, anything you could think of. The same thing applies side by side. In some cases, worse in Saudi Arabia. But we're palling around with Saudi Arabia. Okay, Donald Trump bowed to the Saudi prince. Okay, it's on camera. Okay, I don't give a shit what anybody says. And guess what? So did Obama. Okay, like we have presidents bowing to the Saudi princes and all this and that. All right. We have our entertainers going over there, and now boxers are going over there, and all this other horse shit. But when it comes to Iran, right? And it talks of peace. Oh my God, how dare? How can you work with a country like that and this, that, and the third? And, what do you make of that? Like, what is it that Why do we pal around with Saudi Arabia, but then Iran, who's basically identical, just a different version of Islamic religion, okay, and worse in some areas, right? What do you make of that? I know that's a lot, but what do you make of the contradiction there?
I think because of how open the kingdom is to Western European nations, and really because they kind of, what I say, the Saudis play a soft side. There's a soft relationship between Saudi Arabia. It's almost like Saudi Arabia has traded.
So you don't think it's cheap oil?
But it is that. But where was their oil found? The British brought them out of a nomadic society. The British helped them, and there's forever a debt and favor, between the two. And now America being the ally of the British, they're open to that. The rest of those Middle Eastern countries are like, hell no. And you buy this oil through us. I don't even know if Saudi is part of that OPEC system. No, I don't think they're part of that.
It's just amazing how there's an old saying, right? You can judge the character of a person by how they treat someone that could do nothing for them. You know what I mean? Well, Iran can't do anything for us. And look how we treat them. Saudi Arabia does a lot for us. And look how we treat them. Okay? I mean, it's not all this mumbo jumbo about, oh no, because human right violations, and they're the Ayatollah is a horrible, he's not the leader, but what is he like? I guess the religious leader over there.
Yeah, I think because of everything. Yeah, I think so. I think he trumps everything. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything's Islamic over there, and all. Like I don't know the intricacies and the fine details, but I know it's a theocracy, and I know how dangerous a theocracy is. When there's people that, like, if you have someone, bro, like the Ayatollah, who can tell all his followers, all right, that this is a holy war, and it is your duty to die, okay, in battle. Like, let's just hypothetically say, let's say the Ayatollah said that. Do you know how dangerous people like that would be? Like, that's dangerous.
Hell yeah, that's very dangerous. Very dangerous. And look what happened when did they take the hostages? Was that in the 70s? And when the Ayatollah over there made some, I forgot what I can't go, my brain is locked on that. I used to know it, but where the Ayatollah made some threat. This one, they were capturing those hostages over there. All type of stuff Iran was doing at the commands or the orders of the Ayatollah. I think the Ayatollah took over the country is what it was. And he shut it out. And that's where the problems begin with Iran and America, is when that situation happened. And it embarrassed the hell out of America, because America was over there doing something very fraudulent and almost CIA-ish over in that country. And the Ayatollah stepped up and said, we ain't having that. But now America, the other thing that
Yep.
This is because America held a bunch of their assets. And this is when Obama released a bunch of their assets because America's put all these sanctions against this country, frozen
Yes.
money they had in the bank. And there was like $100 billion that America owes to that country as interest accrual. Trump stopped that. So he has some
Yep.
vendetta against this nation.
So he did stop that. Now, here's the thing, though. Okay. It's just funny how they flipped it. You know what I mean? And this is where people not being informed and not being educated on just basic matters, right? That was, like you said, it was their money. We just froze their assets, okay? But they flipped it, and they made it sound like Obama was giving him American taxpayer money, okay? Oh, Obama's giving them $200 million or whatever it was, a day or a week or month, whatever it was, right? But that was their money, bro. That you know what I mean? And it's just funny how politics, caused all this confusion, and you had people believing till this day that Obama was giving money to the Iranians, okay, trying to buy off peace from them and stuff like that. I mean, the reality is the deal was just to stop them from creating a nuclear missile, because that was better than the alternative of going to war, right? And let me tell you right now, Reggie, with this power move, if the U.S. does not invade, if we don't invade after this, guess what? Now we could create a fucking nuclear missile if we want. Who the fuck's it? If the U.S. didn't come invade us, no one will, right? So now it's more likely that they're going to create a nuclear weapon. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, it's already been stated, man. They already started enriching the uranium, and they've abandoned and scrapped everything from that deal they worked out. And this is what's so problematic about Trump, and what so many of these conservative protectionists are. The conservatives protectors do better than AJ protectors, and right now it's looking bad, and they're going to have to do something about this guy because Iran is already stepping it up. And if not, they probably got nuclear weapons already on the ready, and they're just producing more of them because the deal that Trump knocked off. Trump's been so kind of.
And why wouldn't Russia at this point help him?
Russia probably is. You got a great point with that. A solid point.
Because let me tell you, Russia doesn't like everything's like if anyone who understands chess, right, and controlling pieces on a board, there ain't no way that's going to release this piece of the U.S. There's no way, right? That's why we trained like Al Qaeda and all that to fight the Soviets back in the 80s, right, or 70s, whenever it was, right? I kind of got to think it's a little mixed up with some stuff, but I mean, it's all about the pieces, and if they can reinforce a big piece of theirs, right, they're going to do it, bro. Okay, and they're more capable of it because this is in around where they are, right? I mean, we are wasting a lot of resources being over there. Let me tell you what I would do, okay? What I would do is very fucking simple. I will get every fucking troop out of the fucking Middle East, all right? And if people bitch and cry and moan about paying 20 cents more for a fucking gallon of gas, too fucking bad. Okay, we're getting the fuck out of there. Point blank, period. I would get everybody the fuck out of the Middle East. That's what I would do. Is that extreme?
No, not at all. It ain't extreme at all. Because the situation's about to get dire, and Trump's been so feudal to the whole world. Just think what he's done in this country, putting up borders, separating families, doing away with the whole Cuban thing, easing the Cuban thing, then him shutting off the borders and travel to there. It's just like he's shutting everything off. There's something sinister about this dude, but I'll definitely pull them troops up out of there. It's not worth it until the tension eases over there. Hell, we can tap in our own reserves. I don't know why we reserving so much shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of reserves here, but not only that, bro, we already have technology that if we think of the future, you know what I mean? We don't need oil like that, like 20, 30 years from now. You know what I mean? That's just the reality. But that, I mean, that's another discussion. But, short term, I would just get all the troops out of there. We have no business at all in the Middle East, like none, right? And we're over there. We're basically mercenaries for the damn for the Saudis and the Israelis, bro. We're mercenaries for them. And our soldiers are not supposed to be mercenaries for other countries.
No, and you're right, because I heard it was like that during the first Iraq war, to where the Saudis, I think, yeah, they said the Saudis was willing to offer Bush and them all this money for each of the American soldiers, something like, damn, I forgot what it was, but I heard this was supposed to be a huge sum that they were supposed to offer for each of the troops, almost on some mercenary type stuff. And the Bush administration put a stop to it. But there was some money under the table that was given to this country, probably in the forms of weapon purchases or whatnot. But that's the deal that the Saudis end up giving America for coming into to Iraq during that whole Kuwaiti thing. It's all about mercenary type stuff, because these capitalist leaders are working deals with other leaders who need protection.
Absolutely, man. You know, who knows what's going to happen with this? There's going to be a retaliation, and then there's going to be another. It's just going to be a never-ending story. You know what I mean? And I don't see how a lot of people are washing their hands of this, Reggie. Like our NATO allies, a lot of American allies are like, hey, we got nothing to do with this. You know what I mean? People are just like stepping aside, not wanting anything to do with this. Like we're going to be in this. If we go in this, we escalate this war with Iran, we're in it alone. There's not going to be any help, right, at all. So, like, there might be one or two nations, maybe, but man, let me tell you, man, it's not going to be pretty. And that's that, man. Any final thoughts, Reggie?
Final thoughts is to get this damn fool Trump up out of there. And matter of fact, when you talk about pulling out, I was reading on there that Chevron has pulled all of its employees, American employees, from out of that country.
Absolutely. I see Utah in the house. What's going on? Shout out to the Jazz. AJ10 says in a 1980 interview, Donald Trump said the U.S. should have went into Iran Vietnam style for the hostage crisis. Man. I'm going to Saudi to march for contractor work. Man, let me tell you something, man. Somebody put it earlier. Any companies with government contracts for the military and all that, yeah, you could put money on those stocks. You can, because it's going to go up. I'm just saying, you know. But that's that, man. Quick announcement for the channel. We're going to go ahead and, starting next week, Reggie, on the 13th, D-Style Boxing Live, the regular scheduled shows will begin. All right. We got a new show, Hispanics Causing Panic. And of course, Boxing Conversations. Reggie Owens here on D-Style Boxing Live. It's going to come back on the 16th. You ready for that, Reggie?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, hey, they got some breaking news from over there, too, with some airliner. I seen someone in the chat, and it's breaking news. A Ukrainian airline crashed over there.
But is that true, though? Or
yeah, it's on CNN right now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Mixilla. I'm like, I don't know. Ukrainian Airlines with a 100 on board crash shortly after takeoff at Tehran, according to Iranian reports. Coincidence? What do you think?
It's mighty strange. But then also Boeing's been having issues with 737s. But it's mighty strange, man. It's gonna add to what's going on. This is crazy.
4 Boxing saying Russia's tight with Trump, bro. Just because Russia wanted Trump as president of the United States doesn't mean like Russia's our ally. You know what I mean? Like, just stop and think. Why did Putin want this buffoon in office? I just want you to think about that for a moment. Okay? Like, just think about that for a second. Just because they wanted him in office does not mean that they're allies. You know, and that's an important note that people need to keep in mind, man. But, man, I have a lot of shit going on here, man, with the damn, I know I texted you like my water heater, bro. I was changing the pad, dude, for the refrigerated air and stuff, and I noticed like a lot of like white like I don't even want to call it, but like stains, I guess. You know what I mean? And I noticed that it was leaking, and it was starting to like on top of the plywood. It was sunken in, and who knows what would have happened if I didn't catch that. So I'm in the middle of that mess right now. But I had to come on and talk about this shit.
No, I'm glad you did too, man. Because this type of stuff I like talking about, amongst other things. But I love the political stuff. I'm super political. I'm glad you got on here with this.
Hold on. I just want to get 404. Maybe I don't know. Read the whole comment. Did he put two different messages? Did he?
Oh wait, who was that?
404 boxing. Well, that's
I
all.
didn't-
Let's stay with Trump, not the. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, cool. You're right. So basically, I agreed with what he said, actually. But anyway, with that said, I was just gonna rush stick off, but I want to thank you again, man, for coming on, bro.
Oh yes, indeed, for sure, bro. Thanks for giving me a link to get on too, man. And thanks for
Absolutely.
covering this too. It needs to be treated as important because these issues are super important.
Definitely is, man. Peace out, guys. I'm out.